Hi guys, 18Dap here and welcome to this match preview for another huge game towards the bottom end of League 1. It's Doncaster Rovers versus Fleetwood Town. Let's get the video started. So guys, welcome to this match preview, Doncaster Rovers versus Fleetwood Town. And if you're an existing subscriber, thank you very much for sticking around. If this is a video that's brought you to the channel, please consider clicking that subscribe button so that you don't miss any future content. The match day vlog will be coming up. And if you are new to this is a format that we go through the match previews in. We'll look at previous meetings between the two clubs, we'll look at current form across all competitions. I choose a Donny Rovers player to profile, say a few words about that individual. We take a brief look at the opponent, a brief history and my opinion on the one to watch for you guys. As I always say, you know your club much better than what I do, so please, in the comments down below, let me know who we should be watching out for. This preview is slightly different to the usual though. I have got a special guest popping in and out of it. It's Ben from Cod's Vlogs, fantastic content creator. I do admire his channel, very good. He's so close to 8,000 subs, so please, link is in the description down below. Go and check him out and subscribe to him. You'll see him a little bit later on popping in and out of this preview, so stay tuned throughout this video. But to round off, we'll look at the predicted team lineup for Doncaster Rovers. Me and the family have got predictions league table, so there's an update on that, and then my score prediction at the very end. So without further ado, let's get into the previous meetings. So Donny and Fleetwood haven't faced off too often in our history, only 12 occasions, and Fleetwood a little bit of a bogey team for the Rovers. We've only won 3 of the 12 occasions, we've drawn 3, and Fleetwood winning 50% of the meetings, winning 6 out of the 12. And if we go back through the last 5, back in 2018, away from home, a 3-0 defeat. And then the 1920 season, a 3-2 home win for the Rovers. We'll take that. Yeah, definitely. We need a win. We need the 3 points. I think a point or less is just not acceptable. We need 3 points on Saturday. But then later on in the season, a 2-1 defeat away from home. And then last season, Fleetwood did the double, a 3-1 win at their place and then a 1-0 win at the Keepmoat. So, like I say, bit of a bogey team for us. So I'm not looking forward to this one, especially in our current form. And that leads me nicely on to current form. So we'll look at the Rovers, 1 win in the last 5, sandwiched in the middle of 2 defeats either side of it. Fleetwood, on the other hand, a defeat, then back-to-back wins, a draw, and then a defeat to finish off their 5. Starting with the Rovers though, extremely damaging result in my opinion on the 2nd of January on the road at Morecambe. And 3-0 up in half an hour. The game should be won. There's no two ways about it. 11 professional athletes, professional footballers should be able to see out a 3-goal lead regardless of ability, regardless of experience, age, you name it. 3 goals, you should be able to shut that out. You should be able to defend as a unit. It's basic stuff, and we just didn't do it in the second half. Credit to Morecambe, they put us under a hell of a lot of pressure and got their rewards with the 4 goals and turned a 3-goal deficit around. But just the magnitude of the game for me. There were 4 points in front of us before the day started. At half time we were 1 point behind them, we lifted ourselves off the bottom of the table, and then 45 minutes later we've lost the game 4-3, and it's just completely knocked my hope of survival. I think we needed something from that game, but it is what it is. We have to react, we have to move on, and we have to move on quickly because we've got 3 points up for grabs here against Fleetwood. And if I'm going to take any positives away from the last game, we scored 3. We've not done that very often this season. We had a very good first half. We've seen that very often this season where we've had a good half and not a good half. So we need to get that consistency across 90 minutes. But to score 3 in a game away from home, we'll take that. But we just lack so much experience to actually manage a game out. So for me, I'd sooner start steady and then have a better second half than have a fantastic first half and crumble like we did last time out. But things need rectifying this month. It's a massive month for the Rovers. We need quality, experience, you name it, we need it in as soon as possible because we've got a tough run of games coming up with 7 out of 10 games coming against teams that are currently in the top 10 of League One. The saving grace in that 7 home games out of those 10 could help us. We are slightly better at home than what we are away. But yeah, it's not my optimism and positivity getting beat by Morecambe the way that we did. But as I say, the team need to crack on, get their heads down and try and pull us out of this hole that we're currently in. On to Fleetwood. For me, Fleetwood will be wanting to stamp their authority on this game as soon as possible to get some breathing space between them and the bottom 4. But I think it'll also put them pretty much out of sight of us if they beat us on Saturday. The last 5 games consist of a 5-1 hammering against Accrington. I think that was a bit of an odd one, to be honest. 3-0 against Bolton, a very good win there. A good win against a struggling Gillingham team, 2-1. 0-0 against Morecambe and a 3-0 defeat last time out against a Shrewsbury side that I think has turned a corner. But as I said, Ben Cod's Vlogs is part of this preview, so let's hear what he has to say about Fleetwood's season so far.
Welcome to the channel, Ben. Thank you for spending a bit of your afternoon with us previewing the Doncaster Fleetwood game. It's a massive one down at League One, at the wrong end of League One. Been a tough season for both of us. Tell us your thoughts on your season so far, mate, for Fleetwood.
Up and down, a lot more downs than ups. However, it's a young squad, very little experience, a lot of injuries. When 3 of your defenders get injured, 4 of your defenders really, 3 midfielders and your 4 strikers get injured, you are going to be down to your bare bones. When you have 11 out with injuries and you have 4 or 5 out with COVID as well, it's an absolute whitewash. But I think a couple of the younger players have stepped up this year, especially the likes of Jamie Tete, Paddy Lane, Jed Garner, young loanees have helped as well. One of those including Callum Morton, who's set to be recalled and go to Peterborough. So anything that could have gone wrong for us has gone wrong for us. Again, we parted company with Simon Grayson in the middle of October and middle of November, and Crane has come in, done a decent job so far. I think it's 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats. But again, January is massive for us. It all depends on who goes out and who comes in. And big job on his hand, but we need to look in it to get, I think, about 27 points, which is 7 defeats. I don't know if we can get that, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned about January being massive for you. It's big for Donny as well. Current form, you touched on that with Stephen Crane as well. Pretty much across the board, 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats. You're under a transfer embargo at the minute where you've got to get a player out to get a player in. Does it impact it with the injuries? Is there any way around it? Like you say, you've got so many injuries. Is that like a little bit of a loophole where you can get players in to support, or is it just you've got X amount in your squad and that's where you're at?
Yeah, the latter, mate. The latter, we've had to bring players through the likes of Keenan Hayes getting opportunities. Barry Bagley's been on the bench. Dylan Boyle, these young players probably aren't really ready for it yet. Keenan Hayes has looked exceptional. And number 42 on small, can get at you. But again, we're just lacking that physical presence up top. When Jed Garner's injured, Callum Morton's out, Joe Garner's out. So you're missing that vocal point up front. Edmonton's been recalled. I think we need someone in by Saturday. Like I say, a couple will go out due to either go on loan or go play. Some players will be sold. And James Hill's leaving. As this video will probably be out. You've got Jamie Tete probably leaving soon. We'll probably, obviously, Edmonton going back. So that leaves 1 space. We can bring a striker in by Saturday, which is good news. But it's been really difficult. We need players back as soon as we can. A lot of the players that are out as well have been out for a long period of time and are going to be out till the end of the year. The only one that I can really think about being back anytime soon is probably Jordan Rossiter. He'll probably be back at the end of this month. But again, the end of this month is still 6 games away. If you'll lose those 6 games, you're gone, in my opinion.
Yeah. So that's Ben's thoughts on Fleetwood's season so far and their current results and their current form. But onto the player profile for the Rovers now. I've gone with Ethan Galbraith. I think Ethan, it sounds like he's staying on loan for the season. 20-year-old central midfielder, currently on loan from Manchester United. 14 appearances for the Rovers, 1 goal, but 21 international caps from the under-17 level up to the senior team. And for me, Ethan's been our best player this season by far. When he's on form, he can dictate play. He runs the midfield somewhat. He needs some support in there. I think if we had 1 or 2 more experienced players in and around him, we'd see the best of Ethan Galbraith. But like I say, he's been our best player. So if we can keep him, add to him, who knows? We may survive. I doubt it, but a very good player and one to watch out for the future for sure. But probably not at Doncaster Rovers. Moving on to the opponent, Fleetwood Town, founded in 1908, currently managed by Stephen Craney. He's been given the reins to try and steady the ship that is Fleetwood Town. They're relying on youth at the minute. He's got experience in and around the squad, but a massive reliance on youth this season. And Craney was the under-16 academy manager, so I think that continuity, a little bit like the Rovers, relying on youth as well, will help them, but it makes it very difficult at this level. But we will go back to Ben and ask him about his thoughts on Stephen in a short while. Honours: League 2 playoff winners in 2013-14, Conference North playoff winners in 2009-2010, and Conference National champions in 2011-2012. So recent history has been pretty positive for Fleetwood. Consolidation in League 1, survival in League 1 this season is the aim. And for me, the player that will help them survive, if they do survive in League 1, is, Donny fans know him very well, Danny Andrew. 6 goals, 6 assists this season from left back, and that is just gold dust at this level. Something that we are lacking, an attacking threat, a threat from set pieces, goals from elsewhere on the pitch, not just your strikers. I mean, our attackers, none of them have got over a goal this season. And you've got Danny Andrew that's set up 6 and scored 6 from left back. A little bit like Tommy Rowe, he scored 5 this season. But Danny Andrew, fantastic player, and any set piece in and around the box, I will be worried on Saturday because he'll be stood over it, and 9 times out of 10 it finds the back of the net. But as I said at the start of the video, you know your club much better than what I do. Ben knows his club much better than what I do. So let's head back to Ben and ask him about Stephen Craney and the ones to watch on Saturday for Fleetwood.
What are your thoughts on Stephen Craney? You've mentioned him. Not a bad start. He's come up from the under-16 academy. Is that right?
Yeah, he did the under 23s. Simon Wiles did the under 18s. Again, he's been at the football for a while. He played for us at the back end of his career. Obviously, mostly known for his time at Celtic and Blackpool, where he made the bulk of his appearances. Really, then obviously Fleetwood, Fylde, Wigan. He brought a lot of players through, like to Shane Morris, the likes of James Hill, Jay Matete. Kieran, who he has worked with as well, Josh Feeney a little bit, who went to Villa, who was only 16, was on their bench against Brentford in the Premier League on Sunday afternoon. So he has got talent to bring players through, but it's a lot of difference in under 23s to football. They win games now to survive as footballers, survive as a football club as well. And it's massively important that he gets the right contacts through the door. Is he the right man going forward in the next 3 or 4 years? I don't think so. Is he an okay choice till the end of the year? Absolutely.
Do you think he'll keep you up? That's a big question, isn't it?
I want to say yes. If you ask me now, I think my bottom 4. I did my table predictions yesterday, and I believe Doncaster, Crewe, Gillingham and Fleetwood are my bottom 4. The only thing keeping Morecambe above that is someone called Cole Stockton, who we both know a lot about with our meetings this season with them. I just think when you got a goal scorer, you've always got a chance, and that's why they're up there. I think Fleetwood's business will all depend if they stay up or not. I'll know a lot more in 4 weeks' time.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. So in the preview, we've touched on recent history for Fleetwood as well, and not too long back, it was pretty positive coming up the leagues. Just a quick question: what's your favourite Fleetwood memory as a fan?
Ooh, promotion to the Football League was unbelievable. Promotion to League One was even better because I remember that a lot more. And then just sustaining ourselves in League One, if I'm honest with you, mate. I've only go to the playoffs. The playoffs aren't good memories in League One, losing them both. And it was a disappointing display against Wycombe, but just having a go at promotion in League One. That 12-game unbeaten run will be up there. Promotion. There's honestly so many to pick from, really.
Yeah, and you touching distance of Championship, that was crazy, wasn't it?
It was. They had a bigger budget at the time. That was a different Fleetwood to now. The likes of Barry Mackay, the likes of Glenn Whelans, Paul Coots, Chet Evans, Paddy Madden, a younger Danny Andrew, a younger Alex Cairns, Harry Stewart now who's playing week in, week out in the Championship, bar his injury, Lewis Gibson, who's, in my opinion, a top League One player. Louis Coyle is now playing in the Championship with Hull. There's so many that you can, go for.
Yeah, very, very good team. So I think recent history for both of us has not been too bad. Ours has probably been on the downward trajectory over the last couple of years, and hopefully we can turn it around after January, big January for both of us. We'll see. Like you say, we'll know more in 4 weeks' time, won't we?
Absolutely. Transfer windows are massive, especially the January one. But clubs in an embargo will struggle because you can't buy a player and you're looking at free transfers or possibly go into a football club under 23s or, a Championship reserves team who's maybe lost their way and basically saying, look, we'll take this player, we can't buy him off you, but we'll take him off your wage budget and we'll pay his wages. And that for some football clubs, if they want a player, they will do that at the end of the transfer window to try and raise the funds. We got Dan Batty on a free from Hull just so they could, again, bring another midfielder in and pay his wages. So it can be absolutely massive who you bring in. I think Fleetwood need at least 5. I think need maybe another 2 strikers, 2 defending midfielder to really fatten up that squad because they're really quaking at the moment.
Yeah, I think we're both looking for players in that spine of the team to actually get some fight in there to try and survive. And
absolutely, and I always say Premier League clubs, they can shop at Waitrose or Marks and Spencer's. We're going to Alding, we're going to the bins, being embargoed, just scraping into the bin, whatever they don't want, whatever the Championship clubs don't want, and whatever the top end of the league want. We're literally scraping for something, a little gem really, and it can be hard to find.
Yeah, it's tough being a fan of a lower League One team, but we try as best, don't we? So
absolutely.
I've gone with Danny Andrew as the one to watch. We know all about him. His free kicks and set pieces are absolutely lethal. Fleetwood much better than what I do. Is there anybody else that we should be watching out for on Saturday?
Danny Andrew, obviously, you mentioned 6 goals, 6 assists this year. Obviously, set piece. Especially, I think Keane is number 41. Short but young, hungry, will attack. Shaden Morris again, another winger for us. Very direct, likes to get the ball on the floor. I think Jay Matete as well. Midfield player, tidy on the ball, comfortable with it, will run forward, play forwards. And if you can do that, you've got everything to be a top player.
There we go. So there's a few to watch out for on Saturday. I'm not sure how we're going to set up with injuries and the youth coming through. So I'm expecting a fairly tight game, a cagey game. As I say, I'll get your score prediction on Saturday, but what are you expecting from the game as a whole?
A tight game, a tight affair. I've not really thought about it. With not having no game for a week and a half, you forget how big the game is, but it's absolutely massive. We're you bottom of the league, we're just above that. Bottom 4, I said, if we can stay above that bottom 4 just, and I think we are just above it on and even goals scored, it'll be a decent return. But again, we've still got 23 games to go, 23 cup finals. I think we've still got to play you twice, which could be massive as well. We're playing in about 7 weeks as well. And again, just huge games. And Fleetwood still have got a lot of the better teams to play coming up in a row. You've got Rotherham, you've got Wigan soon, Sunderland soon, MK Don soon. It could all be depending on how many points you get out of the top sides this year.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting end interesting second half to the season. Hopefully for both of our teams, it turns around, the form turns around, and we're both League One football clubs next season. So a big thank you for spending a bit of time with us today on this preview, Ben. Please go onto COD's blogs. The link will be in the description down below. You're just shy of 8,000, aren't you?
Yeah, getting there every day.
Yeah, let's get him couple pushed onto Ben. Fantastic content creator. So please head over and subscribe to him. Cheers, mate.
Top man.
Cheers, buddy.
Thanks once again to Ben for that insight into Fleetwood. Moving on now to the predicted team lineup thanks to FanHub. If you've not got the app yet, please go ahead and download it. If you do download it and you're stuck in the queue, I do have another golden ticket. 5 users remaining on this one, so be quick. Type in 18D-ICJ. That'll help you skip the queue, and then you can get stuck into all of the features. One of the features that I use regularly is the predicted team lineup, and this is what I'm going for against Fleetwood. I'm going with Louis Jones in goal, a back four of Noyle, Alowu, Rowe and Horton, so the same back four that played Morecambe. A midfield three of Hassani at CDM, Matt Smith and Liam Ravenhill. Potentially swap him out for Galbraith. I've heard Galbraith's got a little bit of a knock. I'm not sure how true that is. And then a front three of Aidan Barlow, Geordie Hiwula and Omar Bogle up top. Omar Bogle, one of the players that went off injured. Hopefully it's not too bad. Yet to hear anything from that. So who knows, there may be changes in that if news comes out about more knocks and potential injuries and players carrying stuff. So that's the predicted lineup that I am going for against Fleetwood. Let's see how close I am. Moving on to the Predictions League table. So if you're new to this, me and the family predict the scoreline for every single league game. If we get it spot on, we get 3 points. If we get the outcome right but not the result, we get 1 point. If we get it completely wrong, we get no points. We were all pretty confident against Morecambe. 3 of us went for wins, 1 of us went for a draw, so that means all of us get no points, so no change in the table. I'm on top on 18 points, Dad in second on 14, Chris and Max joint third on 12. If you want to keep up to date with this, please follow me on Twitter, link is in the description down below, and I'll post our predictions before kick-off on every single league game. So yeah, go ahead, follow me there. We're not far off 1,000 followers, so yeah, please go ahead and follow me. And finally, on to my score prediction. But before I do give my prediction out, I do want to say a big thank you to Ben for joining me on the Zoom chat and giving us an insight into Fleetwood. Hopefully meet up on the matchday vlog, so I'll get his score prediction then. So yeah, big thanks to Ben. Please go ahead and check his YouTube channel out. Link is in the description down below. He's so close to 8,000 subs. Let's push him up to that 8,000 milestone. Fantastic creator, as I say. I do admire his content. Very, very good. So that leads me on to my score prediction. I think it's going to be very, very tight. I know Fleetwood are a bogey team of ours, but our home form has been slightly better than our away form. I think there's something happening under Gary McSheffrey. Is it going to be enough to keep us up? I don't think so. Hopefully we can build something that will help us bounce straight back from League 2 should we drop down into that division. But we scored 3 goals away from home. The squad seems to be playing a little bit more freely than what it's been doing at the start of the season. I think that's going to benefit us on Saturday, but I don't think we're going to get the 3 points. I'm going with a tight, cagey 1-1. I think that'll benefit Fleetwood more. They'll take the draw, I think, but yeah, it is what it is. I can see us getting beat, but I'm just trying to be a little bit more positive, so I'm going with a 1-1 draw. And that's where I'm going to leave this one. If you've enjoyed it, please stick a big thumbs up on it for us, please. Comments in the section down below. Once again, thanks to Ben for joining me on this preview. Subscribe to him and subscribe to me if you haven't already. And all that's left for me to say is thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.